Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. Hey, we got a lot of things new around. Yeah, this is the Ed Brown Show, but I told you 2015, we're going to have a lot of new things here. And I have my co-sponsor here, Camara. Oh, Richmond, Camara. Tell us, what have you been doing? Mrs. Richmond, you remember back 2014, she had a show, and she still has a show, a radio show, and she brings some exciting guests here. It takes the weight off of me. Okay, Camara, how you been doing? How was your holiday, first of all?
Wonderful. Happy New Year. How about yours?
Yeah, fine. I'm a great-grandfather.
Congratulations.
My daughter's son had a 6-pound, 4-ounce baby girl.
What's her name?
Maya.
Oh, that's a beautiful name.
M-Y-A, yeah.
That's a beautiful name.
So I've been up in cloud 9 since since the new year. So she was born, January 8th.
Wow.
So hey, it's not many people are great-grandfathers. I made it. So I guess God decided, hey, keep it around for a while.
Yeah, well, you're a blessing to people.
Yeah, so
I
thank God for that. And I want to know, what about yourself? How was your holiday? Tell us about it.
It was great. We started with Thanksgiving. We had a ton of people over at the house.
Wow.
So
did you cook?
No, but we had about 30.
It was catered, right?
Well, you know who did the
The
cooking.
potluck.
You know who did the cooking.
Joan did the
Yes.
cooking. Yeah, right. Yeah, we know that. Joan supervised it too, right?
Of course. Of course. So for Thanksgiving, we had about 30 folks. So we had aunts and cousins and sisters.
That you hadn't seen before. Or
It's
you
been a
only see
long
once
time.
a year.
Just once a year.
Yeah,
and
that's
some,
what they're good for,
Right, and some I haven't seen in like years. But
Yeah.
our neighbors stopped by, and so that was great. So it was like one of the best Thanksgiving ever. And then for Christmas, we did the same thing, about the same folks.
Yeah.
Well, no, a few little different ones.
Right.
But so that was great. So we
That
had
was a joyous time.
Yeah, we had
especially when
two
you see people.
good days.
And even in my situation, they come down from Philadelphia, come from Kentucky and places like that.
Right.
And you see them once or twice,
Yeah.
a year. And some
Yeah.
people say that's enough.
Well, we love it. I mean,
Yeah, and so do I.
As you know,
because
we
there's
have
so
a lot
many
of
things
cousins.
You're right. So many things happen, And,
Right.
what I like about it too is that everybody has a favorite and that they like. And you remember Aunt Susie? She liked sweet potato pie, and
Right.
Uncle so and so. He liked that. And those are things that you remember that they
Right.
were telling you about.
Right.
Because they were asking me something about fried turkey. They said, hey. Say that's new fried turkey, you know what I mean? So they brought a fried turkey, instead of
Wow.
the basic way. So tell us more about that.
Well, actually, so we do have people that bring a dish, but
Yeah,
of course,
that's what I mean.
most
Aunt
of it-
Susie potato salad.
right? Because we like potato salad, by one
Macaroni
cousin.
and cheese.
We like mac and cheese
Mac and
for
cheese.
another cousin.
Right.
So everyone brings something to the table, and it's great. I mean, we have
Yeah.
a nice. Let's see. For Christmas, we had something new that we did.
Yeah.
We had a couple of cousins, and everyone did the 12 days of Christmas.
Is
So
that
each
right?
person did like they each had one day
Yeah.
until you got all the way around to the 12th day.
No
So it
kidding.
was so
Hey, that sounds
cute.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you may be able to sing and you may not be able to sing, but if you were a dove, then you said that each and every time. It started a new circle. And so that was fun. And then everyone just said what they were grateful for.
Oh, great.
And
that
so,
sounds like that
yeah.
was a wonderful time there.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us a little bit about 2015 and your show and what time it's going to be heard and all that good stuff.
Well, I used to just do once a month, and now I'm doing every week.
Every
And
week.
so every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm doing a show. And so when I first started, I would just scour the web looking for folks that looked interesting to me. And now, because we've been doing your show, I've been doing my show for a while, then folks want to be on the show. So I don't have to like scrounge up folks anymore.
Yeah, they're looking for you, right?
Right. So
they find out that you have this excess, so they say, "What about it?" You know.
Right.
And I guess it really helps everybody. It helps us too, because you have found in 2014 some very interesting guests here that you have brought on that I've gotten feedback from. They want to know more about it. You know what I mean?
That's great.
So I like to tell you that on the air, so everybody knows. You know.
Thank you.
That the positiveness that you have been to the show in 2014, and we're looking for more in 2015. Okay.
Well, you have been a blessing to me. So you have really taken my show to a whole different level. And so I find pretty much entrepreneurs, and so people.
Well, that's what we stress, you know, entrepreneurs and helping, you know, you know, getting involved. And there's so many things out here now that we're going to talk about. As far as the commentary, this will be part commentary too. We're going to talk about some of the things that's happening in the world, some of the things that you should get involved in. Okay. Okay. Well, tell us, what do you have coming?
So for next Friday, I have, his name is Scott Northcott, and he has his own company, and he's going to talk about eco-social stuff. That's the only way I can get it out. So he's going to be talking a lot about green energy. And then the next week after that, I have Jesse Sharp, and he is part of the, he's the CEO, the vice president of BIG. And I think Matthew
B-I-G,
Fogg was here, so Blacks in Government. And then he's also a part of the 100 Black Men in Montgomery County.
Is that right?
In PG County. I took myself back. To Prince George's County. Okay. So those will be two wonderful shows. And I know that Jesse is local, so I'd like to have him on your show. I'm not sure about Scott, but you know, we like to switch it up.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, I'm thinking in terms of Fairmont Heights. They're trying to get their museum together. I had a young lady that is working, you know, a lot of the historical sites, not just in Prince George's County, but all over the United States, especially the African-American historical sites. They've been destroyed, you know, through the building the condos and things like that, you know, areas that really have a history. And so we'll be talking to people about that. And the other thing, too, is that we still stressing getting involved economically in this country. And that's the small business. We feel that this is the key to a lot of the problems that we have. And really, I was really excited about talking about, and you've heard it, and I've repeated it here. I got some negative feedback on it, but you know, as long as the president say it's good, it's good.
It's
remember,
good.
My thing was free education. Remember, the thing that I said, and I've been saying it on my show. I didn't just start because the president said that they're going to have free education.
And we talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Right. I say, I've been talking about it for years, and some of the educators and other people look at me, you know, and say, what do you mean free education? I say, free education, that's an investment. That's the greatest investment that you can make to a society, because there's so much that we have missed because of the individuals didn't have an opportunity to educate
Right.
them in the environment.
Right.
And to me, when President Obama came out last week, talking about free education from the high school and to the community college, I jumped through the ceiling. I said, I've been saying that because
Right.
that's the greatest investment, all the investment, the bombs and all of that stuff, wars and all. Invest in the future.
Invest in
When
the
you
future.
invest in the future, that's
Yeah.
what you do.
And that's the talent. That's where all of our talent is.
And that's where the talent. How much talent do you think has been missed because the individuals didn't have
Didn't have the money to go.
Didn't have the money.
Didn't get a scholarship.
Couldn't get a scholarship.
Yeah.
Many, I know
Right.
many people that
Right.
the reason that they didn't go to college was they didn't have the money. That's
have the
all.
money.
It was
Right.
the major thing. They couldn't afford
Right.
it. And then what happened is all of a sudden, you know, they decide, well, I'm going to sacrifice to go to school, you know, and they sacrifice to go to school, get an education, and then they come out and there's no
And
job.
there's no job.
You know,
There's no
I think
jobs.
those things is so very important. I was so very happy when the president said that about education.
I was happy too, because when you look at America being like number 30 something when it comes to around the world education, that is just really sad. So if you can go for more people to go, the economy will grow.
Yes.
We'll have more entrepreneurs.
Right.
And so if
And it
everyone
affects
is available
the
to that.
social part of it, the crime,
Right.
because quite often with the blue collar and the white collar crime, quite often they're not treated equally. The blue
Definitely.
collar crime generally punished more severe than the
Yes.
white collar crime. And
Yeah.
what happens is that a youngster go out and he get a speeding ticket, or either he break the law one time or something. That carries him to his grave.
Right.
He be
The
90
rest of
years
his
old
life.
and they remember some negative thing that he
Right.
did that caused his record.
Right.
And by him being arrested or being involved, and some of them, in fact, are innocent, and they just was in the wrong environment.
Right.
but
And that's
they-
where the talent is too, in prison.
Right. Yeah, right.
I mean, if everyone had access to an education, that would change this country.
And I don't see why, I'm not going to say America, the world, why they don't understand that the reason you have the problems that you have in the world is basically because people are deprived of the best, the things that are so important. Everyone wants to have a nice environment to live in. When someone across the street up on the hill has everything, then that makes you, you know, pretty bitter. And what happens
Because
if
you
you're
want
not bitter,
that.
what happens is your children, they say, why is they have this and I don't have anything?
Right.
Say,
And
why is it? But when America, I think in terms of society, is that, you know, everybody has an opportunity. If this was true, then it'd be something different. But everybody knows that's not true.
it's not
There's
true.
not equal opportunity for everybody. And you can see the economics. That's the problem that we have in this country.
Absolutely.
Is that it's 3% of the people controlling most of the money.
Right.
And what happens is that creates a hostile environment.
Right. Because if you don't have it, I want it, I'll take it.
Yeah. So I have nothing to lose.
Right. I'll take it.
Right. If you have it, I don't.
Right.
What happens? I'll be in the same situation. Maybe it'll be a situation where it's improved. Because do you realize some people commit crimes to go to jail because they don't have anywhere to live?
There's nothing to come out. When they come out,
right.
you know, where do you have housing?
Yeah,
Where do you have a
right.
job?
Yeah.
It's
But-
a lot of, and it's so true. I don't think people know that people go back
Yeah.
to get in jail. They have
Yeah.
the 3 meals a day.
Right.
It's in a hostile environment.
And then, yes,
But-
hostile environment, but what they don't have to
there's
think
nothing-
about the basic things like they go through reading, writing, arithmetic, the same
Right.
thing. If you don't have a decent environment, that makes you
It
hostile.
makes you hostile.
See?
And so when they come out, they can't cope.
Yeah, and then they set up the rules where, like I said, the white collar and blue collar crime. Well, the white collar crime, he gets 2 days in Florida, and the blue collar crime, he gets 90 years,
90 years.
And a record for the rest
For the
of
rest
his
of his
life, where
life.
he is economically deprived.
And we could really talk about that, what's going on in Virginia, but we're not going to mention any names
Yeah,
when it comes
right.
to, the white collar crime.
Yeah, right.
You get some community service and,
Right.
you know.
And people sit back and look at that. For instance, a good example that people still are suffering today from is with the foreclosures.
Right.
Imagine the bankers they took
They
taxpayers'
just
money,
took your money
to bail out the bankers and the other corporations.
and have bonuses.
And what happened is that after doing that, bankers got bonuses.
Bonuses.
Bonuses and the way that they did business was unethical, and they
Right.
knew it from the start.
So if you can make money doing that, then you can make money for people to have a free education.
Right, exactly.
So there's money.
That's why I said it. That's the problem. And I mean, we're taking this time. A lot of people, and you look at the idea of the way you look at other people. You have been, most of you out there, been actually prejudiced from childhood.
Yes.
You're in an environment where your environment teaches you that you are superior to someone else.
Right.
And once that starts, then that follows you all the days of your life. If you're a supervisor, if you're a corporate executive, or if you have a choice of determining whether one group have a good job and another group has the dirty job.
And it's all about entitlement.
Entitlement. So
I'm rich, I'm entitled, I can do
right.
whatever I want.
Right. Well, that's the thing. So I'm just hitting on. I know it's a lot of educators there that don't agree to this, but it's free education. Because I'm thinking in terms of the 6 figures. Just like a good example, just happened in Prince George County. They had a change in the school system, and right away they came in and they brought 4 or 5 people with 6-figure salaries on the top,
Amazing.
And people look at that. I mean,
Right.
you may say, well, we can't get anyone with the experience. And say, that's not true. The
Well,
reason the people not out there giving competition is they've been deprived of the opportunity maybe you had to go to school.
Right.
That's why free
That's why.
education is the greatest investment if they did it all over the world, not just here.
It
all
would change the
over
world.
the world. The problems, believe me, the problems that we have, you wouldn't have them because of the fact that a person is not going to be actually vindictive. In fact, if he has an opportunity, what makes a person vindictive is when he doesn't have an opportunity, and he knows he has the ability, but he hasn't had a chance to exhibit it.
The thing is if you have, the education, then you know what? You're healthier.
Yeah.
Because you're going to graduate, you're going to have a job or start your own business, which most kids are doing now, but you're going to have money. So you can have health care, you can have a house and a car, and all of, the things that we want in America.
Yeah, but what we're talking about, you're talking about the top of the line, a car
Right.
and all of that. But here we have in this world, people don't have health care.
Right.
Every continent has had some kind of problem, health problem. America is included in it too. They don't have an opportunity, and what happens is that you develop a sector of whatever society is, whether it's democracy, whether it's communist or Islam or whatever. Even in we cascade people in certain groups. Say,
Right.
well, the first thing we want to do is say all the people that have red hair are bad. You know what I mean? Hey, what's this? You know, and that's the way we look. Society look at
Yeah, and that's
other
happened all
people
over
that
the
are different.
world. Yeah,
If you
it's
are
happened all over
different,
the
then
world.
what happens is that you're going to be segregated against. I don't care who you are, even in your family.
That's
How
the
many
truth.
times kids say
That's true.
that they had a brother or sister that they mother and father favored that could
Right.
do anything, and
And
as soon as
so,
I
and that
start
goes to
something,
that, becoming bitter.
I get a
Right.
backhand. See,
Right. And so
that's
you
why I
do what you
say
have to do. Right.
that's a human
Right.
element.
Yeah.
That's a human element.
Right.
See, and it has nothing to do with laws or anything. When
Yeah.
you mistreat anyone on any level, and you can look at a terrible two. That's why they a terrible two. He looks around and he sees something he wants. He figure if you have it, I should have it.
Yeah,
So you got to keep him tied up
it's
to
mine.
keep him from tearing up the place. You know.
Right. Because
But
everything they see is mine.
yeah, right.
And so you grow up thinking, okay,
Yeah.
this is mine. Everything is mine.
Yeah.
Whether you worked for it or not,
Right.
it's mine.
And then those are the type things that stressing free education
Yes.
will solve, and a lot of the problems that has happened in the world has been on greed, where one group wants to use another group's abilities.
Right.
Hey, you know what happens? You know what with every country around the world is people misuse them.
Right.
It's so. I mean, they could be of the same nationality. It doesn't make any difference. That's what I tell people. You know, it's based on economics. Okay,
Right.
this country here, what happened is economic slavery was an economic thing, and what happened is that the Indians took the land away from the Indians and put them on a reservation.
It's mine. I'll take it.
This happened with the terrorists that they have out in over there in Europe. Is the Arabs had land and Israel came in and started building apartments on it. So
Right.
they wonder why they have terrorists, you know, because what happens is that the no one wants democracy unless they're in charge. I like
Exactly.
democracy. If you're in charge, that's fine. Because
Right.
what happened is a true democracy works for the guy that creates it.
Right.
You
But
know,
if you want to be a dictator,
yeah.
you want the exact opposite.
Well, the same thing happened in all the continents, Africa, everywhere. The
Yes.
same thing. These people, the same nationality, same religion, right down the line.
Will
And-
torture you.
Yeah, right. Because they have so many ways. So wealth is one of them, and they develop groups, you know, and then the groups decide what religion that they want to be in, and
Right.
anyone don't believe in what I believe in has to go from the system.
You have
see?
to go.
Yeah. See, so that's you know the
Which is
world.
sad.
It's so sad, you
It's
know.
really sad.
But here in America, we have a democracy, so called. But what happens is that, well, I mean, when you look at it, and it's a good article in the paper by Malloy about how things work as far as voting is concerned. I was really surprised at the results from the voting, but then again, I wasn't, because what happens is that that's the system that was developed by the masses, and when I say the masses are people controlling the finances.
Right.
And when you control the finance, those are things that occur.
Right. You control it all.
You control it all, because you can determine what kind of job you have, what kind of job that we're going to reserve for the future for your
Right.
grandchildren and your children and your great-great-grandchildren. That means that they can't, no matter what. That's why I say President Obama hit the nail right on the head when he said, hey, look, what you have to do is have free education.
Right.
And what do you think of that?
And so, and we were just talking about that, you know, you have to understand that you want that to happen, then you have to vote.
Yeah.
And so, let's say the primaries, we didn't have a lot of folks out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we have to deal with what we're going to have to deal with for the next 4 years.
Yeah. Well, people look at, I guess when you get something easy, then you don't value it.
Right.
The
That's a good
times
point.
when you couldn't vote, then it was a big thing to vote. Now that you can vote,
You
you
don't
don't
want
vote.
to.
See, so those,
You have to take off work.
Yeah.
You know, it's the
inconvenient.
weather is bad.
It's inconvenient.
So anything could happen for you not to go.
But really, that's the only voice that you really have in an economic society that we have here. Like I said, 3% of the finances is controlled. I mean,
But just by a few people.
By a few people. 3% of the people control most of the finances, not just in this country, all over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah, it's not just here. Everywhere where you have the guys with the oil well, and you have the guys that are going to other continents and taking out all the natural resources.
Right.
And then you find, the irony of the thing, you find in these countries also the people that are there, they are the same religion. and what do? They walk on someone that's in the same religion but don't have as many goats as they have.
Right.
Or they classify themselves. And what's going to happen if we don't invest here in the United States in the educational system, make it so that education would be number one and not war. Right now, that's it.
Right, because now we have that class system. You know, you just think about it in places like India.
Yeah.
But we have that here.
Yeah.
You know, the country was built on that.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They have classes, and they're of the same race and of the same religion. They still have classes.
Right.
You know, and so I don't know how people look at voting. You know, they look at it as something that you don't need, but that's the only tool that you have.
Right.
When you don't use that tool, especially when your grandparents put their lives on the line.
They died for it.
For you to vote.
Died for it.
And you rather go to get a hot dog, a hamburger, or inconvenience.
You know.
It's very inconvenient to put that Cadillac down and go and vote.
Right.
You know, or that 9-room house is.
And so you can't complain.
Yeah, because what happens is, in the end, you won't have either one.
You won't have right.
In the end, you be struggling. A good example, like I said, was with the homes. The people lost their homes here in Prince George County. You know why? Because the white-collar crime took over. The white-collar crime, the bankers took over, and they took our money and bailed the banks out. This has been Ed Brown. See you next time. I tell you, this 2015 is going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
See you next time.